What's up, everybody? It's your favorite FPL YouTubers back at it with another Game Week preview and analysis video, this time for the highly anticipated double Game Week 36. This is going to be a great one. I'm Jarrett,
And I'm Evan.
and this is How to FPL.
All right, let's get right into it this week, shall we?
Of course. So, I scored exactly the average number of points from the last game week. I don't really have much to say on it. My team is definitely very much structured to be hitting a home run or not doing well, just because I'm going big on Chelsea, Arsenal, City, Liverpool. And two of the Liverpool players didn't play. Chelsea guys all blanked. So it wasn't going to be a great week. But fortunately, I didn't go down that far in rank, even though I didn't own any Spurs players. Didn't have Son, who was obviously a huge rank killer for a lot of people this week. So honestly, I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that actually says something about owning Son this season, which is that people who have him are probably happy to have him, but definitely not having him comes at a cost to like the rest of your team structure. I feel like a lot of people who have him are people who didn't have Salah, and so missed out on points in other weeks, and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think it's like he's one of those players that like it's good to have him, but you're not super missing out if you don't have him, and I think that shows with like not dropping insanely in rank even when you don't have him and he does well in a week.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, ideally, we'd all love to have all the best players in our teams, but we don't have an unlimited budget. So,
Exactly.
all right,
But you
let's
did
move
have
on to your
Saka.
team. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, similar boat for me. I dropped, less than 100 in rank. Um, my city defenders got clean sheets. That was awesome. I had a good defense overall. Kulu coming off, or no, not coming off the bench, but oh yeah, he did come off the bench. I think
Yeah,
to
he
get two
did.
assists. Yeah, that was really nice. Um, Again, Salah captain. Um, didn't work out, but it wasn't the end of the world. Kane did well as well. Honestly, looking back on it, I'm fine with my Salah captain. And it was an okay game week. Not much to say. I agree. I wish I had played Dubravka, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you could, unfortunate that Salah didn't start and came off the bench in that game. Like you probably wouldn't have expected that to happen. So you know what? Unlucky. Keep that in mind for future Salah captaining situations where he might get rotated and move on.
Yes, sir. All right. So taking a look at the clean sheet odds, we have some of the highest numbers that we've ever seen on this slide up for this week. Obviously, it's a double game week, so City, Chelsea, and Liverpool top the list as expected. Um, but yeah, we've got some other teams up there too. A lot of people going for Schmeichel this week, so we've got Leicester up at a 60% chance aggregated across both game weeks for a clean sheet. Arsenal are up there as well. I know a lot of people own Ramsdale. Um, Everton tossed in there. Jared, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, these are some very high numbers. I think we knew that we'd be seeing some really high chances for clean sheets, just because there are so many teams that are doubling, and the teams that are doubling generally have like pretty good fixtures for their doubles, especially defensively. So this is exciting, man. There's going to be some massive scores this week. Like I always say that it's when you have like people getting clean sheets is when you get those massive scores because when you combine the clean sheets with maybe getting a return from a defender, then they almost always get bonus points, and that's what really helps you get those massive scores. This could be a really big game week.
Absolutely, especially when you have a team like City, who are great defensively this season, have also been putting up attacking returns, and they're not playing another team that we also have a lot of ownership from. So the returns aren't really canceling out this week, besides the Liverpool Arsenal game, or sorry, Liverpool Spurs game,
And the Arsenal Spurs game.
and the Arsenal Spurs game.
But yeah,
outside
other
of
than that, it's a lot of big boys beating up on little boys.
indeed, should be a good one to watch. Jarrett, and also while we were talking before this, you mentioned your thoughts about City Newcastle. Would you like to elaborate?
Yeah, so I mean, we obviously know what happened with City against Real Madrid the other night. Pretty shocking for the entire football world. And it'll be really interesting to see how City respond to that. One of my favorite pundits to watch talk about the game is Roy Keane, who, whenever he's talking about Manchester United players, he always talks about how they lack character and how a big trait in a great team is to have great characters. And I think we're going to find out if City have any character in the next few games, because it's gonna take some character to continue their title charge.
I agree with you.
After that emotional blow.
Yeah, that was a tough one, and I agree. It will be a test of character. I personally think they will pass it. I do think they're a team with character. Maybe not everyone on the team. But
maybe not Jack Grealish.
Maybe not Jack Grealish. Or certain defensive players. But anyway, we'll see how it plays out. And let's move on to the next slide.
Okay.
Yeah, the captains for this week are two of the sexiest Premier League players of all time. As you can see by our lovely photos.
De Bruyne looks so funny.
Yeah, I don't know why he looks squashed. His face looks like he's 17 years old in that picture. But
and he's so pale.
He's so pale. But I mean, that being said, he does look like a great captain option for this week. If you have him, I think a lot of people who have him are going to be people on free hits. But he's in great form. He's got great fixtures. I think the question is just his status, whether he's going to play, which is a pretty big question.
Yeah, so I'd actually be pretty concerned if I had De Bruyne, because obviously he's had ankle problems for a long time now. He's had a number of different injuries with having to do with his ankles. And I think he was rested last game week for game week 35. And then he looked really tired in the game against Real Madrid and was subbed off really early in like the 60th minute or something. And that's in a Champions League semifinal, and they subbed off their best player. I feel like they probably wouldn't do that unless he was having fitness issues. So I'd honestly be pretty concerned if I had De Bruyne.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's pretty concerning. He hasn't been flagged in the actual FPL website, as far as I'm aware.
Well, that's probably just because Pep hasn't had a press conference.
Fair enough. So, I guess if De Bruyne is in your thinking, wait till the pressers tomorrow to make a game time decision.
Definitely, yeah.
But, who else is up here? Salah, obviously.
Yeah, Salah seems like a no-brainer. Other than that, everyone's pretty low percentages. There are a lot of opportunities for good differential captains this week, just because there are so many doublers. you could pick a Man City player other than De Bruyne, and that'd be a differential captain pick. You could go for Saka. I mean, Arsenal need to win their games, um, and one of them is home against Leeds. Um, who else would be a good pick?
Well, let's look at the bottom of this list. I think we've got an interesting intrusion down there at the bottom, Jared.
Richarlison.
Yeah, yeah. You have any thoughts about our flaming flare throwing man?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping he's going to set the game week on fire.
It will be an absolutely
But
brilliant, sparkling game week.
I'd be pretty wary to captain him just because he plays for Everton.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
any
yeah.
any more
True.
points here?
Well, I think playing for Everton is a plus or a minus at this point in the season. Um, just because they need it, and they're not in the worst form of the season either, and he's not in his worst form of the season. But I agree, it's Everton. You can't hedge too much on him, and I think that
Yeah,
especially when you have someone like Salah sitting at 50% of the vote, he's going to have an EO well over 100% this game week.
yeah, and he
I'd be
also should play definitely the whole game against Spurs, and you'd have to think probably the game against Villa as well, because they do have that cup final coming up after game week 36, but you know
they need this
they
title.
also are trying to win the league, so
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, should we move on?
yeah.
All right. So similar note, um, another sexy, sexy player added in this time. Someone in pretty good form right now is Gabriel Jesus.
Arsenal's future star.
Arsenal's future star. We'll see if he can continue to impress them. Uh, Jared, do you think he's actually going to Arsenal?
Um, I think there's a decent chance, to be honest, especially if City do buy Holland. I don't. I think Jesus is too good to keep sitting on the bench all the time, and I think he probably has a pretty good relationship with Arteta, from what I've read. So, and he only has a year left on his contract. So, all those things kind of adding together, I think there's a decent chance, honestly.
The stars are aligning. But yeah, he and Mahrez are up there in the goal scorer odds for this week. Um, Obviously, City have two nice fixtures. Salah's up there. Jota is up there. He's not having as much attention paid to him in FPL this week, though, just because I think a lot of people are tripled up on Liverpool at this point. People have Salah, Trent, Robertson, and don't really need to think twice about looking anywhere else. I do know Robertson has had some speculation as to whether he'll play both games. So, if you're looking for a third Liverpool slot that's not him, Jota might be your best bet.
Yeah,
Any
Bravo's
thoughts?
probably in the don't buy, don't sell territory right now, I would say. Honestly, if I didn't have three Liverpool players and I needed to bring one more in for this game week, I'd probably be looking at Luis Diaz. He's been on smoke lately, and I think he has the starting spot over Jota. Now, obviously, they're going to rotate a decent amount because they're still competing for the FA Cup final and ultimately for the Champions League final too. So they're still in a bunch of competitions. So there's no guarantee that Diaz will start over Jota, but I mean, eye test and probably stats wise, since he signed, like Diaz is better than Jota, I think.
He doesn't miss sitters.
No, he doesn't. Anything else on
So,
here?
um, not in particular. I mean, I don't think Lukaku belongs on this list. Um, oh yeah,
Absolutely
that's
not.
and Kane probably does.
Yeah.
Kane and Son probably belong on this list.
Love to
And
see my Arsenal boys sneaking in.
yes, yes, Martinelli and Saka. Whew, and that gets right into it, doesn't it? If they have a good week,
Absolutely.
you have a good week.
Oof.
All right, what are we
So
looking at for this week?
I've got a pretty sexy team for this week. I'm not gonna lie. I've got the Man City triple up. I've got the Liverpool triple up. I've got the Arsenal triple up. So I'm kind of going big on teams that still have something to play for, to be honest. Starting 11's all doublers. I've got 3 doublers on my bench and Daddy Veghorst, and I'm playing the bench boost. My transfers this week were Broja, Sanchez, and Werner to Richarlison, Foster, and Jesus. Broja sucks, and he doesn't double, so I needed to get rid of him. Sanchez, not a great fixture this week, and I needed some cash in order to be able to get Richarlison, so I sold him for Foster. And then Werner has been so unimpressive since I got him 2 weeks ago that I just had to get rid of him for Jesus. You know what? He might punish me, but I don't care. I would rather have Jesus in my team.
That would make my week. A Werner double hat trick.
Oh my
This
god.
week.
Honestly, I think there's a good chance that he'll get benched because he's looked so bad like the last few games.
Yeah, yeah. Lukaku could come in and steal the show.
No, it'd probably be Pulisic starting over him.
Mm, yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I once again I hate to try and hype up my team because I feel like every time I do that it fails. But I'm pretty excited for this game week.
yeah. I think your team looks pretty formidable this week. I see you have the vice captain on Saka. Is that are you sticking to that?
Yeah, I mean, I had the captain on Sala or on Saka until tonight when we were starting to make this episode, and you know what? I think I should just go with the sensible option this week and captain Sala in a double game week. So I think I'll do that.
Yeah, I think it makes the most sense. And I'll be honest, if it were me in your position, I would be considering Jesus probably second to Salah.
Yeah,
Um, but I think the reality is that Salah is gonna play minutes. So
yeah,
if you're
it probably
captaining
won't
him, it doesn't
matter.
matter who you vice.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to your team.
All right. Yep. So this is my team. I made similar transfers. I have had Adams and Broya in my team for way too long. They've
Since
been
you
sitting there
wild carded,
festering since I wildcarded. They've been festering in my two forward spots. Alongside Kane for way too long. I had to get rid of them both. As you said, they don't double. They suck. So I opted for Richarlison and Vidra, which obviously Vidra doesn't double this week, but he does double next week, and he has a decent fixture this week. On top of that, I needed to get pretty much him in order to afford Richarlison, who I feel like is a good asset to have for this week, despite Everton's shakiness in terms of their spot in the relegation battle and the league and their form, um, and Richarlison's status, banning status. I don't know. I think he's worth a punt.
yeah,
Um, and then lastly, I got rid of Dubravka, who's playing Man City this week, in order to get Ben Foster, who has 2 doubles in a row. So I'm also captaining Salah. I put the vice captain on Cancelo. I don't think it's going to make a difference, but I could see Cancelo getting 20-pointer this week. for all we know. He's got the 2 cleanies. He gets a couple assists in there. I don't know. I could see it.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the player I'm most scared of not having in my team this week. He could definitely score big.
Yeah. So that being said, that's a good thing to mention because this will be a really fun week, I
Yeah,
think.
it's gonna be a blast. There's gonna be so many points getting scored.
Yeah.
I'm
And
I'm excited.
you just gotta sit back and enjoy the points that roll in without getting caught up on what the points other people are also getting.
Yeah, definitely.
So
But yeah, I like similar to what we were saying about my team. So many fixtures in your team, like you just got so much potential for a great score. It'll be a fun week to watch.
yeah, yep, exactly. So with that said,
Make sure to like and subscribe. Maybe even leave us a comment. We read every comment, so make sure to
we
comment
do.
on the video.
They
And
mean
then also,
so much.
yeah. We love reading comments, even if you talk about how ugly we are or something.
Yeah, don't, and we already know that.
Yeah,
So
we actually like getting bullied. But anyways,
I think we mentioned that last week.
yeah, I think we did. Yeah, and then we got
I think we
bullied.
should, and we liked it.
Yeah, yeah. And then you can also check us out on Instagram and Twitter at how_2FPL. Instagram is full of great memes, and the Twitter is full of some great commentary, some hot takes.
Spicy.
Yeah, we keep it spicy.
Anyway, thank you guys again, and have a great rest of your week.
Bye.